Hello again, welcome to the Mastercam course. In that lecture we're going to talk about CNC Lathe programming. As you can see here, I created some product by using the SolidWorks actually. And let me turn to here. This is my actually sketch. Okay, I created that kind of sketch. You can also find that folder in our Udemy courses. After that, we're going to create some cut process for this part, and then we can prefer to use the circle pattern and actually to get our product. Okay, that's it. And after that, let me save my file here, and then I can turn to the Mastercam. Okay, let me open my file. Okay, this is my folder actually. You can see that this is the SolidWorks part. I'm gonna double click on it. Then after that I can easily see my product like this. Okay, we can turn to the top view. This is the top view actually. Let me save my file. Okay, I can save my file, and that's it. Okay, and after that it is easy for us to create our the contour. So I can turn to the wireframe. So we can prefer to use straight boundary options, and we can select our body and hit the OK button. And then let me turn to the level options. I can select this one and using the right mouse button, and then I can hit here, change my level. After that I can use active level, and then I can write as a number 2 and hit the OK button. And after that we can turn to the level, and then we can make them unselect. So that's it. Actually we can see the our boundary here, and then actually it is not necessary for this part. You can also delete this part and this part. After that we can turn to the line entities, and hitting the here we can turn to the vertical line and we can select origin, and then we can also do the same things for this part. Okay, anyway, after that we can save our file. So let me turn back to machine and the lathe and default machine. So after that we need to organize our the stock setup. I can turn to the vertical line. I can start from here to here, and then we can write our length. My length can be the 50 millimeter. It means that 100 diameter and the workpiece, and then I can write 110. And then let me turn to the properties and the stock setup, and we can turn to the actually as a stock setup. We can turn to the properties, and I can hit the make from 2 points, and then I can start from here to here. And then as you can see here, we easily created our product. So let me also organize some face toolpath, so I can activate the mergence, and then we can write 2 millimeter here. Okay, that's it. After that we can easily create our product. Let me turn to the level. Okay, this is my solid body, as you can see here. But at that point I also would like to emphasize that we also need to be careful about that stuff. For example, you can see that this is not my diameter. Okay, there is some the different perspective here. So to be able to handle this stuff, actually you can easily rotate your the product to solve that problem, or you can create some curve here, and then you can select this circle and hit the analyze entities, and then we're gonna see our diameter and also our radius. So when we turn to the here, and we can delete this one, and then we can turn to the top view, and after that I can hit the line endpoints options with the horizontal line. And then I can start from here to here, and then I just need to write my radius here. You can see that this is my, and the differences, and with my, and actually slot options. And after that I can turn to trim to entities options, and I can select this one and this one. And after that, let me delete this part, and then maybe we should also handle this stuff. Anyway, that's okay. Let me turn to the levels and activate my solid. You can also see the differences here. This is the correct line, and this one is not correct line. Okay, everything seems fine right now. Let me save my file. Okay, anyway, let's turn to, let's turn to the toolpath, and we can use the right mouse button, Mill toolpath, and then I just need to hit the face toolpath options. So this is going to be my tool. Okay, this is my feed rate. I prefer to use the constant cutting speed. This is going to be my cutting speed, 150, and that's why I need to write maximum spindle speed. This is my maximum spindle speed. And after that we can also activate the reference point, and we can write, and it's a 3 for approach, and then we can turn to the face parameter. We can easily calculate our stock or cutting area by using the stock options. As you remember that we are extending 2 millimeters for our, and actually stock. After that we can activate the rough parameters as a 1 millimeter, and then we're gonna create 1 millimeter 0.1 millimeter finishing process. So this is for roughing, this is for finishing process. And then that's it. We just need to hit the OK button, and then we're gonna see our face toolpath. And after my face toolpath, so let me turn to here. Okay, let me create some, and 1 millimeter line here, and then we can also use on the vertical line, and then hit that point here. So that is my cutting area. And after that we can also turn to the trim entities, and then we can turn to, not trim entities, we can turn to the modify and the break, and writing, for example, 1 millimeter, and then we can create length options, and then we just need to select this line, and then you're gonna see that I can easily create that kind of break line with 1 millimeter. Okay, anyway, and after that we can also create some and extra line here, starting from here to here. Okay, I don't want to see, and I don't want to enter in the dots area. So okay, let me create my roughing process. Let me turn to the lathe toolpath operation and the roughing operation, and then we can start from here, and then we can easily reach at that point. So we're gonna start from the green arrow to reach red arrow. So that's it. After that, this is my tool for roughing. You're gonna prefer to use the constant spindle speed with my spindle speed like this. So maximum spindle speed is not important, but we can write some values here. It's not so important. And then this is my feed rate. This is my plunge feed rate. Then maybe we should also activate our reference position with and 2 millimeter maybe, and then activate roughing parameters. So this is the equal steps. Actually we can write 1 millimeter. This is the stock to leave on x-axis and stock to leave on the z-axis. And then we can turn to the lead in process. This is my lead in process 1 millimeter and lead out process for 1 millimeter. And we can turn to the plunge parameters and plunge parameters, and you can see that we cannot accept any plunging process in our process. And then we just need to hit OK button. So we're gonna see some roughing process. As you can see here, this is the equal step. Okay, this is the equal step. So each steps with 1 millimeter depth of cut. Okay, we don't want to use actually our stock recognitions, because you know that we are extending our profile by using this line and this line. So that's why I don't want to see any process here. Anyway, let's focus on this part. We can also turn to the modify length options, and it's a 1 millimeter is enough for us for extending this one and this one with the break options. Of course, don't forget to use the break, like this one and this one. So after that, we can turn to the Lathe Toolpath, and I also need to use actually, maybe we can also use the different and the approach here, for example, contour rough or normal rough, okay, or dynamic rough. Okay, let's try to use and here and the contour rough. Okay, I'm gonna start from here to here. Okay, anyway, after that, that is gonna be my tool. This is my tool number 2. Actually, this is gonna be my feed rate, and we can prefer to use constant and the spindle speed. So I don't want to use any maximum spindle speed here, and contour rough parameters. Actually, this is stock to leave on the x-axis and stock to leave on the z-axis. And this is the actually my offset number, can be seen here. Actually, you can also prefer to use the one-way or zigzag method. So let me turn to here. This is my lead in process, and this is going to be lead out process, like this one. And we can also activate plunge parameters, like this one. We don't want to use the any stock recognitions here, as you can see. Okay, and then let me calculate my toolpath. So actually that's not enough. Maybe we should use 0.25 millimeter, like this one. Okay. Okay, so that's quite good for us. And then let me check my toolpath. So you can see that everything seems fine. You can also see the lead in and lead out process for this stuff. Okay, we can also activate the holder. So we're gonna see that that's kind of contour toolpath. So yeah, I think that's fine. And after that, let me create my finishing process. I'm gonna turn to the use and the toolpath options and finishing toolpath. And then let me start from here. And then we can turn to here. And then I think that's enough for this point. And then let me hit the OK button. Actually, after that, and let me turn to here, and we can also select this toolpath, sorry, this one for finishing process with radius 0.4 millimeter. And then actually we can also change our holder. It's also possible to change our holder here. This is my actually cutting parameters and the compensation. It can also be calculated easily here. So we can organize our holder. Let me double click on this part. You can see that this is the E degree, and another distance can be seen here. Let me copy this part, and we can double click on and then my new tool. So this is gonna be my actually holder degree. You can also see the actually insert here. This is the 35 degree, and double click on it. Okay, this is my feed rate, and we can also turn to and the constant cutting speed and maximum spindle speed. And then we can turn to the finish parameters, and 0.1 millimeter and 2 number of finish passes is possible for us. Let me turn to the lead in. This is my lead in and this is my lead out process. And then we can also need to activate our plunge parameters. Yeah, that's fine. And let me see what we have here. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so all of this part for my lathe operation. Let me turn to the level and activate my the body. So yeah, actually to be able to create this part, we can turn to the curve on edge options. We are working on the 3D options, and let me create some curve here and here, and after that we can create some line here, and then let me analyze my line. My line can be seen like this. Okay, let me check this part. This is my line, and let me check my properties. So this is actually 8 millimeter line, can be seen here and here. So after that process, let me create some line endpoints by starting from here to here, and then maybe we should also use the modify options, and we can extend it 5 millimeter here and 5 millimeter here, actually without breaking options. Let me turn to the here, and we can do this part and this part. Anyway, that's okay right now. So yeah, I think that's enough for me. After that, actually I just need to turn to the C plane. My C plane can be right, and after that I just need to select this one and the transform and rotate options, and then we can write our rotation degree, and then you're gonna see that's kind of actually rotation options. Anyway, after that we can turn to the top view. After that, let me use clear color options and isometric perspective. So yeah, this is actually X and Y axis. Let me turn to the top view. This is the top view. Actually, this is my line. So let me turn to the toolpath. We can use the right mouse button, lathe operation, and the C axis. Okay, which operation, and we need to select for this part. So we need to use actually cross contour toolpath. So this is the actually, and let me turn to the C axis and cross contour toolpath. Okay, let me select my line, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, and direction is that part, and direction is also important. Okay, so we can hit that button as well. Anyway, let me create my tool. To be able to create my tool, actually I prefer to use 8 millimeter tools here. So this is my feed rate and this is my cutting speed. According to my tool diameter, my spindle speed and the feed rate calculated. You can also see the flutes number here. It's a 4. Okay, number of flutes here, and everything seems fine. We can also write plunge rate, feed rate here. It can be 1000. Anyway, after that, let me turn to here. This is the incremental approach. Incremental approach is a top of stock, can be, I don't know, maybe 10 millimeter. After that, we can easily calculate it. And as a fit plane can be 11, and then we can also use as a retract position 15, and we can also use clearance plane as a 20. Okay, and then I don't want to use the any multipasses, and we don't want to use the any leading on without process. And when we turn to the cut parameters, it's a compensation type, it can be off. Okay, so that's not important because we cannot activate any lead in and lead out process. And we can turn to the ramp options, and we prefer to use the plunge feed rate with 0.5 millimeter, and then we can hit the OK button. Okay, and yeah, at that point, let me check my distance here. I'm gonna turn back to the top view again. So this is the actually distance we should care about to calculate our actually toolpath. Let me start from here to here. So this is the 10 millimeter. Okay, so this is my parameters. I can activate the linking parameter, and this is the 10 millimeter, and this is the 15, and this is the 12 millimeter for the fit plane. So everything seems fine right now. So let me simulate my toolpath. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one is quite important. So actually, and to organize that kind of toolpath, actually it will be better for you to prefer to use incremental approach. Incremental means that we can care about and where is our contour position. So when I am turned to geometry, this is my contour position. According to my contour, this is my depth position is a 0. And according to this perspective, I just need to add 10 millimeters to calculate the top of stock, and then fit plane and the retract position and the clearance position. So if you can turn to the absolute position, you need to write your and the absolute position. So when we calculate my absolute position, we need to be careful about and the y-axis. So I can select this one and analyze my line. So this is going to be my absolute position. It's also possible to write your absolute coordinate. Okay, that's it. Let me save my file here, and then we can easily turn to actually verification options to be able to verify actually my toolpath. Actually, you also need to organize your stock setup or maybe chuck. Okay, let me hit that button, and then you're gonna see that kind of approach here. So you can also see that, and without cutting your the product actually, and to be able to this extending process maybe, and we can turn to our toolpath here. So to be able to handle this stuff, this is, as you remember that this is my roughing process, as you remember that, let me turn to the level and select this part. Okay, maybe we should also extend this line like this, parallel line. We can select my line, and then we can extend with actually 6 millimeter, and then we can delete this line, and then we can turn to the trim to entities options. Okay, so this is ready right now. I just need to change my this geometry. We can use the right mouse button and delete this line, add new one. So we can start from here. You can also see that partial and weight is active right now, so we can easily turn back to here. And then that's it. We just need to recalculate my toolpath. So that's fine. Let me save my file. Let me turn to the verification options, and we can easily verify our toolpath right now. So that's it. Yeah, actually you can also see this is the roughing and finishing process and approach here. Let me turn to the top view. We can also add our finishing process. Okay, let me turn to the geometry. We can delete this chain as well and add new one. Okay, and as a partial weight options, we can start from here to here, and then we can reach at that point like this one, and then we can recalculate our toolpath. So everything seems fine right now. So this is my roughing and finishing and C-axis process. Okay, thank you very much, and if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask me. I am here to answer your question. This is the huge community all around the world to solve engineering process actually. Okay, so I really appreciated your interest. Thank you very much and take care.